It is a disaster. Transform it into something worthy. Oh, what did I buy? Oh. Let's get the new suspension in. I'm not gonna lie to you, my friends. That molded system was way harder than I thought. This is our NAS style seat. Here's the old one. Hello, my Rover friends. In this video, we're gonna take our NAS 90, the Blue Bomber, and transform it into something worthy of driving across the country, doing cheese to tacos for RoverBall 2. We have an assortment of goodies. We need to get them on the car, get this machine up and running. Let's get to it. The Blue Bomber needs a lot to be worthy of a RoverBall vehicle. And what is our motto? Rovers don't quit. People quit on Rovers, but Rovers don't quit. And I'm not gonna quit on our NAS 90 here. First thing I think we should do is get the interior cleaned up. It is a disaster. I'm gonna use some Dynamat, China mat. We wanna heat shield it. It's a 5,000 mile journey I'm taking it on. We're gonna go all the way up to Green Bay and down to Big Bend National Park, right at the Mexican border in Texas. And let me tell you, my friends, it's gonna be hot. I do not wanna be sweating and just miserable in this vehicle. So we're gonna Dynamat it all up best we can. We're gonna get a molded matting system in there to give us some soundproofing. I know, I'm optimistic. And another thing is we've got an air conditioning unit. Fingers crossed, I can make that work. If not, I'm gonna be miserable. So let's get this vehicle tore apart on the inside, cleaned up, and the Dynamat ready to go in. Oh my God. There's a lot of things going on with the wiring in here. What did I buy? All right, let's get this seat out of the way and keep digging. My Rover friend, I have an issue. Not real happy about it. Take a look on the inside. Look at that, somebody patched the floor. It's not the greatest job. I was pulling up some of the matting and the sticky tape and found that. At this point, I'm just gonna screw it back down to the floor. We're gonna put some China mat on it and roll with it. There is no way we have enough time to cut that out, weld it in, have it all ready. It's actually quite a large project, and this truck and me, we don't have enough time for that. So let's get the floor cleaned up best we can, Dynamat it up. That way we can get our molded matted system in. You didn't even see that, it's over there in the corner. So we're gonna do that. Get this soundproofed best we can, heat resistance. I know, I don't wanna do it, so I'm getting back to work. Moving along pretty good. Got some weird wiring in here that we're trying to figure out and clean up, but I'm about ready to China mat the floor. And this side also has the little hole. I'll show you guys. It's a shame this car, yeah, it's rough and ready, but mostly, especially with the rear cross member done, it's a pretty solid vehicle. I wish those holes weren't there, but that's why it's in my price range and it is an NAS. But we'll get a piece of metal in there, we'll cover it up, we'll get the China mat on it and keep moving. All right, I'm feeling way better on the interior. We got the little rust holes covered up. We've got our China mat in. Take a look at what I did inside the seat boxes. And then we got to take a look at the electrical. All right, come on in. Look at that. Well, we'll get to that wire, but not bad. Yes, indeed, not bad at all. Did the same thing over here. Ooh, factory jack. Covered that up. And you're saying to yourself, internet, why don't you have this covered? The reason I don't have it covered is because we're going with the top of the line full molded matting system. And sometimes it won't sit right if you put the Dynamat underneath it. So we're just gonna leave that off. That's why I did the inside of inside of the seat boxes. But now we gotta talk about this pile of wiring. I can't quite figure out what all those switches are for. Up there is the air conditioning switch. Got wires running all over the place. I'm hoping those are the speaker wires. So I'm going to leave the interior out for now in case we got to run some wires to something that I haven't quite figured out yet. Let's dive into that next. Once I've got that sorted, we'll China mat the back. It's gonna make this car ride like a Defender, but a slightly bit quieter one. All right, let's figure out what all this wiring's for. We've got this weird wire that goes to the starter. Got some wires down here that come up to power these switches. We're gonna get to that. This is what get down there. This is what I've ripped out already. I'm thinking that he was in the fire department or something like that because we saw a flashing little beacon light in the back. And we've got a bunch of wires up here that seem to go to nowhere. I'm gonna take some time. Won't be fun to watch. Probably won't be fun to do. But once it's done, I'm gonna start putting the interior back together and then I'll bring you guys back in so you don't have to suffer through this. Most of the wiring has been cleared out. As I was taking apart the instrument cluster area, everything was brittle and falling to pieces. Woo. So I'm gonna take this opportunity, upgrade it to a metal one, get everything tucked back together. I think we're doing good. Got this all back together. Not bouncing around anymore. I'm gonna work on the back China mat and then we will jump onto those amazing rock sliders. That way we can start picking the car up and down nice and easy. I need to chase the remainder of the wire that I found under the vehicle. And I don't wanna do the interior until I know that everything is good, but check this out, check this out. Oh, I gotta go in here. For real, hang on. Put the battery to it. It's a whole thing. You ready? You ready? You're not gonna believe it. You're not gonna believe it. What? What happened? It was working. Oh, you gotta turn the switch all the way. Look at that. Can you see that? That's a dome light and it works. All right. Onto the China mat. All right, finally something I want to sink my teeth into. Let's get these signature sliders on the 90, making it so much easier for me to pick it up and set it down. Balancing these on the frame is sketchy, very sketchy. So happy to have these on. Be a lot of fun. I'm feeling invigorated. Let's get to work. Oh, never off-roaded. Don't believe them. So dusty. Not even muddy, it's just dust. Here's the outrigger. We're gonna slide it into place. That's our mounting point. We wanna make sure that those holes line up, and then the base is nice and flush to the frame. Take your marker. These sliders look fantastic. I'm in love with them. Can't wait to get them out on the trail at Big Bend. I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling good. We've got the tires off at this point. Let's rip into the suspension. Do the 2-inch lift kit. The springs on there are a little sketchy in the back. So we're gonna do a whole new lift kit, and we're gonna continue to find miscellaneous wires. Rock sliders make a tremendous amount of difference. Not sketchy at all. I feel very comfortable working on it. And speaking of working on it, let's get the new suspension in. Now that we have the tire out of the way, we're gonna take a look in the engine bay. We gotta remove this plastic cover that covers the strut. Have a look. Just to make sure there's nothing bad going on. With a big extension, and just reach on down. Whoop, that's tightened. We want reverse. That's pretty much it. You can see it right here. It is the worst part of the job. You're trying to get that free. And as you turn that nut, it's gonna turn the whole shock. But I've got a trick for you. This is the cheat code. BFC, Big Fraggle Channel Locks. And I grab the shock body. On the bottom, there's usually an area that's welded. You can get good traction there. But let's be honest, we're trashing these shocks. Really don't care. Hold my wrench. Easy peasy. Whew. I need a sandwich. I'll be right back. With the shock free, I just wiggle it out the top. Dummy, where did you put the ring? Here it is. Didn't know if this was gonna happen in the front, but I'm glad it did. I was gonna show you this trick in the rear. Okay, spring is too tall. What do? You call your biggest friend, you have them hang on the axle, and that's usually enough to do it. But if you're lazy and alone like me, you're gonna like this trick. The trick I'm talking about is the bottle jack trick. What you do is you put the bottle jack on the axle and slowly push down. You don't want to go too crazy because you can snap your brake lines. I'll bring the camera in, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. I just grab this flat part on the axle right here. Bump stop, but you can do it off the control arm. You can do it in many different ways, and just kind of bring it down a little bit. That way you can set the spring in and get the spring or tower ring up there. That's where it goes into those 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. There you go, little bottle jack trick. Time to drop the shock in and struggle with that bolt. Oh no, don't fall off. Compared to the front, the rear is pretty easy, but you do need to be cautious. for not letting the axle droop when we pop the shock off. This has extended brake lines, so I'm gonna get away with it. If you don't, it's gonna sink down and possibly break your brake lines. We don't want that. So you wanna be able to make sure that you are supporting the axle when we take off the shock. At the base of the spring, you're gonna see 2 bolt heads. And then underneath is the nut. It's really that simple. Just get your wrench, start taking them off. You wanna save the hardware, my friends, be sure to save it. Essentially the same thing, driver's side, passenger side. We're gonna gently put it in. On to the shock. You need to do the upper section first. You don't have to, but you'll struggle. Then simply slide the shock in place. I'm feeling a ton better now that we got the new suspension in it. As you can see, the rear was cooked, front was okay. Now we're good all 4 corners. I really want to upgrade the brakes to the slotted groove terra firmas, but time is not my friend. And I think it's more important to go back, work on the inside now that we got the wiring done, get the seats in, and then that way, worst case scenario, I can drive on the original brakes, which are completely fine, but I can't drive without any seats. Although I do have a bucket. Maybe Joe left a Menards bucket in there for me. All right, you get my point. Let's get back inside. Let's work on the full I'm beat, guys, molded matting system. We'll get that in, then we can get some seats in it. Okay, I'm back to work. Oh my God. These molded matting systems are absolutely no joke. I had to get Dom in to help and he pretty much hates me. Dom, how can you hate me?
Things are heavy.
I know it's heavy. He's watching me struggle. Dude, this thing weighs like 50, 80 pounds, 200 pounds. Oh, I got it. Everybody on the internet, he's not fucking helping at all. He's just sitting here laughing. Oh, okay. That's it. Is it time for margaritas, Dom? Yeah, Justin, you're cool. All right, thanks, buddy. Is absolutely spectacular. I'm not gonna lie to you, my friends. That molded system was way harder than I thought. Everything was perfect with the kit. It was the air conditioner was there. The guy at the port 40 years ago that drilled a hole for the e-brake didn't drill it in the right spot. I have been on the struggle bus, but it's done. Time to move on to the seats. My goal for today is get the seats in and at least take the car for a ride. All right, shut up, get back to work, I know. Here I go. All right, my Rover friends, that is all the energy I have for today and this video. I'm gonna take it for a ride. Hope to God I don't find anything bad. And then next video, we're gonna finish up everything. We've gotta do the whole, rip the whole front cover off, or water pump, try and fix the air conditioning, put a cubby box in, make a radio work, list. But let's just make sure it rolls down the road. Be sure to follow.